Good morning and a very warm welcome. You're watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Susan Takal. The top stories first. Prohibitory order in Kathmandu Valley extended by one more week. Groceries and stationery shops to open till 11 from today. Targeted group unable to benefit from government's vaccination drive. Young people try to get the shots meant for elderly. Daily infection of coronavirus drops to 1,694 cases. Number of active cases also decline in Nepal. Bennett sworn in as Israel's new Prime Minister. Israel welcomes a new Prime Minister in more than a decade. And England kick off Euro 2020 with a 1-0 win over Croatia. Brazil begin their title defense with a win in Copa America. And now the news in detail. The Supreme Court on Monday issued an interim order repealing a writ petition demanding reinstatement of Gandaki Province Assembly member Krishna Thapa of Rashtriya Janamorcha Nepal. A division bench of Justices Biswambar Prasad Shrestha and Kumar Regmi issued the order stating that the relevance of the dispute has come to an end. The apex court stated that there is no conflict in the fact that petitioner Krishna Thapa is no more a provincial assembly member after the interim order issued from the court. Given this context, the interim order issued from Supreme Court on June 6th to continue Thapa as a provincial assembly member has been quashed. Earlier, Justice Kumar Chunal had issued an interim order not to implement the decision to relieve Thapa of his post. Former Prime Minister Jhalanath Khanal has been receiving treatment with oxygen support at the Thapatali-based Norvik Hospital in the capital. Suffering from fever for the past 9 days, Khanal was admitted at the emergency ward of the hospital yesterday morning. Executive Director of the hospital, Rajendra Bahadur Singh, said that Khanal has been admitted to the hospital after suffering from fatigue and difficulty in breathing along with fever for the past 9 days. The blood test report of leader Khanal showed hemoglobin deficiency. Doctors involved in treatment of Khanal suspect that the problems facing the leader might be post-COVID complications. The government has finalized a working procedure for conducting the secondary education examination through internal evaluation this year, owing to the difficulties created by the risk of coronavirus infection. The National Examinations Board has instructed all the schools to complete internal evaluations by July 4th. The board will then publish the result by the end of July. Its chairperson, Chandramani Paudel, said, "Each school has been instructed to establish a 5-member team led by the principal and consisting of a senior teacher and subject teachers of English, mathematics and science to finalize the evaluation at the school level." This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 2,049 new cases of coronavirus across the country. A report.
The total cases of coronavirus in the country have climbed to 610,521, while the number of active cases has dropped to 65,804. The number of active cases was 68,955 a day ago. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, altogether 536,262 infected persons have tested negative for the disease in the country, following the recovery of 5,157 patients yesterday. Coronavirus claimed 53 more lives across the country, taking the death toll to 8,465. Nepal is currently among top 40 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. The USA tops the list with over 34.33 million confirmed cases, followed by India with more than 29.57 million cases. Coronavirus has infected more than 177 million people across the world and claimed over 3.82 million lives.
And now the news from the economic front. The country has received rupees 809.89 billion in remittance in the first 10 months of the current fiscal year, according to the Nepal Rashtra Bank. The central bank said so while releasing the current macroeconomic and financial situation of the country based on 10 months data yesterday. According to the central bank, remittance inflow has increased by 19.2% in the review period against a decrease of 6.3% in the same period of the previous year. NRB added that the number of Nepali workers taking approval for foreign employment decreased by 60.3% in the review period. It had decreased by 2.7% in the same period of the previous year. The NRB stated that the current account remained at a deficit of rupees 247.08 billion in the review period compared to the deficit of rupees 96.18 billion in the same period of the previous year. Likewise, the balance of payments registered a surplus of rupees 7.75 billion in the review period as compared to the surplus of rupees 120.90 billion in the same period of the previous year. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. NATO leaders meeting for a summit in Brussels have warned of the military threat posed by China, saying its behavior is a systemic challenge. China, they said, was rapidly expanding its nuclear arsenal, was opaque about its military modernization, and was cooperating militarily with Russia. NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg warned China was coming closer to NATO in military and technological terms. But he stressed the alliance did not want a new Cold War with China. NATO is a powerful political and military alliance between 30 European and North American countries. It was established after World War II in response to the threat of communist expansion. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Lionel Messi scored a stunning free kick as Argentina drew with Chile after the Copa America paid a spectacular tribute to Diego Maradona. Messi curled home from the edge of the area towards the end of the first half of the Group A opener, but Eduardo Vargas headed in an equalizer after Arturo Vidal's penalty had been saved. Just before kickoff, Argentina legend Maradona was remembered with a dazzling light and effects display. It was a holographic version of the 1986 World Cup winner performed kick-ups before clips of his goals were projected onto the pitch. Spain were left frustrated by well-organized Sweden as Luis Enrique's side opened their Euro 2020 campaign with a 0-0 draw in Seville. Three-time European Championship winners Spain dominated the opening 45 minutes, and Sweden needed Robin Olsen to keep out efforts from Dani Olmo. However, despite Luis Enrique's side's dominance, it was Sweden who arguably created the best two opportunities of the game either side of the half-time. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Supreme Court quashes petition on restatement of lawmaker Krishna Thapa. The verdict also renders an interim order issued earlier as irrelevant. More than 5,000 people recover from coronavirus in a day. Number of active cases declined to 65,000. Remittance inflow to Nepal increases in the current fiscal year. Current account remains at a deficit of rupees 247 billion. NATO concerned about growing military power of China. European leaders rule out Cold War with China. And Messi scores a stunning free kick against Chile. Spain frustrated in a goalless draw against Sweden. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website, janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.